Hey everybody, so today I wanted to show you guys my DIY 4-speed shifter. So I spent a lot of time on the internet looking through eBay, Amazon, Google for a 4-speed shifter, but I was never able to find one. Just the really expensive sim racing rig shifters and actual 4-speed shifters for cars. So I just decided to make my own. And essentially what I took was just a joystick, removed the spring, and then rotated the switches so that there is a switch on each corner versus just having one at the bottom, the top, the left, and the right. So this is my first attempt at it. So I used a lot of Gorilla Glue to kind of cobble this together, but it did work. For my next version, I don't think I'm going to use the gate, just simply because it does restrict movement. So I want it to be kind of free flowing, free moving. So I think I will exclude that. Here it's connected to a USB encoder, and I was actually kind of worried that I messed it up just because I was, kind of pulling it apart and I dropped it a couple times, but it still worked. Even with all the kind of Gorilla Glue everywhere, it still worked. Also, I ruined my CP. So as you can see, I did have to drill holes and make it thinner just so it could fit. I completely ruined it. So I did get a replacement from DIY Retro Arcade, so I should be getting that today. But here's my version 2.0. So I won't be adding the gate. I think I will be Gorilla Gluing these switches to that black plastic part just to keep it in place. For now, I won't be adding the switch. I'm sorry, the gate, just for now, because I really want to see how it moves without it. Just because I found that, well, for one, I Gorilla Glued the gate a little bit askewed, so one side has more gate than the other. So I think that's what's restricting movement. I think once I actually line it up correctly, it will be fine, but I'm going to try it without it first. Really do wish I had access to a 3D printer, but I kind of have to work with what I got. And there's the encoder. So I did add a couple buttons just to kind of simplify things for start and coin. It makes it kind of a pain to have to reach on the steering wheel. So also figured it'd give it a nice aesthetic. Now, in my opinion, the most important part of this DIY shifter is the shift knob, at least aesthetically, because it's the thing that you look at the most. So for that, I ordered a counterfeit Momo shift knob from Amazon, which I regret simply because it has so many parts. So it has a rubber part that goes over the shaft, then there's a metal part that goes over the rubber part, then there's a bigger metal piece that goes over that, then it has a spring, then it has a cap. So I just used a crap load of Gorilla Glue just to get everything together. As you can see here, I glued the spring to the metal piece, which is fine because it's just going to be capped and nobody will ever see it. It is very nice, but if you're planning to do this yourself, I would just recommend getting a much simpler shift knob and just saving yourself the headache. But it did come out nice though. So after installing the red LED buttons, I did start to worry about whether I made the right choice or not with the color. They did have a red shift knob, so I'm thinking that I may pick that one up just to see the difference. Although on the flip side, the red and the silver contrast might actually look pretty good. So we'll see how that works out. So here we have some game footage. So this is virtual racing. I'm using it as a sequential shifter in this one because this game doesn't have a 4-speed. It's actually a 7-speed sequential shifter. And I'm using first and fourth. And I do realize that I actually have this incorrect. Upshift should be down, downshift should be up. So I did learn this after setting this up, so I will have to change it because that is incorrect. So here we have Sega Rally, and this one is using the 4-speed configuration. So in the end, this came out really nice. I'm actually surprised at how nice it came out given what I spent. Very pleased with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe. Also stay tuned because I will be making another video on how to set up MAME with the steering wheel. Although it's a simple process, there's a few things that you have to make sure you do, which I didn't do, which drove me absolutely nuts. So stay tuned for that, guys.